Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm a professional actor living in Lethbridge, a creative and resilient little city nestled into the coulees amidst the vast prairie landscape of Alberta. This city, its people and views have stolen my heart over the years, much like the works and words of a certain poet, William Shakespeare. Welcome to Thy Bard Shakesonnet, where I sit down with a handful of local Lethbridge artists like myself to both shake down and shake up a handful of Shakespeare's age-old sonnets. Each artist and I will discuss a single sonnet over the course of an episode before creating our very own in the next.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shakesonnet.
In this episode, we are shaking up none other than William Shakespeare's 80th sonnet. But we needn't do so alone. Oh no. Please join me in welcoming Ahona Sanya. Thank you so much for being here with me again, Ahona. And yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. I do want to take another moment to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 7 territory, which is also home to Métis Nation Region 3. I'm super excited to see what we create here today. The original stanza 1, so lines 1 through 4, we made it orange. Do you remember why?
I gave it an orange color because it felt very warm. There was a glow to his words. And it feels hopeful at this point. I know he's doubting himself and comparing himself to this other person, but it still feels like he thinks he has a chance.
And so the original line 1 of stanza 1 with 10 syllables reads, "Oh, how I faint when I of you do write." Amazing. So this will set our A rhyme. Where do you think we should go with our first line? Where should we go with it?
I think I want to explore faint as if it were weak, or like how drawings are faint or like pencil marks are faint and you can barely see it.
I mean, that makes me think of buckling at the knees, or like somebody makes you weak at the knees,
yeah.
like, so we could even just be like, I am weak in the
7
knees
or
for
8.
you. 8? Okay, so we have we have 2 syllables to play with there. Yeah, what could we add there to fill it in a little bit?
I am weak in the knees as I write for you.
I'm weak in the knees for you as I
write.
write.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's take a look at line 2, which in the original has 11 syllables and reads, "Knowing a better spirit doth use your name." So what stands out to you in this second line, and where should we take our own, do you think?
It feels like this person that Shakespeare is addressing, like this other man competing for his love, may not be a threat just yet because he's only just talking about what could potentially happen.
We could be like, with, hope in my heart, but fear.
With hope in my heart and fear for your suitor.
Suitor. Ooh, okay. So let's move on to line 3, which in the original has 10 syllables and reads, "And in the praise thereof spends all his might." Great. And so what does this third line bring to mind for you? Again, we're going to have to try and rhyme with right.
I think we should go in a direction where we really build up this suitor and compare him to the strength of a lion and show why we're fearful of him or feel threatened by him.
Yeah, there's that idea of might and praise.
He speaks words of love.
He speaks words of love. Or maybe we could do who speaks softly amidst actions. What rhymes with right? Bright. Fight. Inside.
Maybe we could end the line with fight because then it relates back to that lion.
Who speaks softly,
And
though
still willing to fight.
Still willing to fight. Let's jump into line 4 of stanza 1, which in the original has 10 syllables and reads, "To make me tongue-tied, speaking of your fame." Great. And so we're back to our B rhyme here. So we're going to have to rhyme with suitor. The original kind of reads like he brings it to himself again, right? To make me tongue-tied. So we could potentially follow that lead. It'd be like, though still willing to fight, whereas I'm, like in over my head, or like in waters too deep, or like maybe, what rhymes with suitor? Should we think
Cuter.
about that? Cuter.
Future is a soft
Future?
rhyme.
Where
I am overwhelmed.
where I overwhelm.
Oh, I didn't even say my idea. Yes,
Okay.
where I overwhelm need you, period, my future.
It can even be like a colon, like
Yeah.
need you, my future, like you're my future. Yeah.
I'm weak in the knees for you as I write, with hope in my heart and fear for your suitor, who speaks softly though still willing to fight, where I, overwhelmed, need you, my future.
So stanza 2, lines 5 through 8 of the original, we made it light blue.
I made it light blue because it made me think of the calm before the storm, and like I think there's still like a little bit of hope to this stanza compared to the next one. It feels like we're setting off for an adventure.
Did you know Alberta is home to 5 beautiful national parks, the most notable being Banff National Park, which hosts over 4 million visitors per year. And the others include Elk Island, Wood Buffalo, Waterton Lakes, and Jasper National Park.
Right, setting off for an adventure, dipping our toes in, getting our toes wet.
Whole world ahead.
Yeah. So line 5 of the original stanza 2 has 10 syllables and reads,
But since your worth, wide as the ocean is,
what stands out to you in this line? Where do you think we should go with ours?
Wide as the ocean is feels like so much untapped potential. Maybe we could go in that direction. Like it feels like this person can see like a lot of beauty in the ocean, while the suitor maybe just wants to conquer the ocean and say that they've like traveled the ocean and traveled the world instead of enjoying the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like a been there, done that. Yeah, so where I, overwhelmed, need you, my future.
I see you. Fast and... Is beauteous a word? Beauteous?
Oh, yeah, it is. Ooh, what if instead of starting with I see you, what if it were you are vast and beauteous before me? That works? Awesome. Let's take a quick read of the original line 6 of stanza 2 with 10 syllables. It reads,
the humble as the proudest sail doth bear.
What stands out to you in this line?
I think we need to have a contrast, something humble, something proud in this line.
I mean, we're kind of running, with that idea and image of like the ocean. Like, the ocean can be super calm, but it can also be really crazy.
Yeah.
Like
the strong and the frail on the same tide.
Ooh, okay, I love that. Yeah, the strong and the frail sailing the same tide. That's 10.
Yeah,
Shall we
I
run
like
with
that.
it? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Moving on to line 7 of the original second stanza with 11 syllables reads,
my saucy bark, inferior far to his.
And we're back to our C rhyme here.
Maybe we could describe the boat that he's using.
One greater than the other.
Yeah. Racing for your love.
Oh, what if we go with like that whole like before me thing of it, kind of like chasing the sunset or the sunrise, like have you heard the phrase like, if people are racing, they're like in tow, like they're with the fact that something is like in front of them.
Then it's that hopeful thing again of like that he's gonna reach the horizon, he's gonna
in tow of your love, the horizon I see.
I like this a lot.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's take a quick look at line 8 from the original stanza 2 with 10 syllables. It reads,
on your broad main doth willfully appear.
What stands out to you in this one? Where should we take ours?
Willfully appear. That feels like a big gesture.
Just running with that, like willfully appearing, like we could start with, and upon
your crest, I willfully ride.
Ooh, I love that. And upon your crest, I willfully ride. And that's 10.
Yay!
Amazing.
Yay!
So let's take a quick read of that just to make sure we're all good with it. You are vast and beauteous before me, the strong and the frail sailing the same tide. In tow of your love, the horizon I see, and upon your crest I willfully ride. Great. So moving on to stanza 3, lines 9 through 12, we made it a darker blue. Do you remember why?
I made it a darker blue because it feels like he's starting to drown in his doubt and starting to like be overwhelmed by this insecurity he's feeling compared to this suitor. It just feels like overshadowed and like a dark cast over the ocean. The storm is here.
Did you know a peak wind gust of 145 kilometers an hour was reported in the Tabor area on January 13th, 2021? Let's take a quick look at line 9 from the original with 11 syllables. It reads, "Your shallowest help will hold me up afloat." And this will start our E rhyme for stanza 3. What stands out to you in that line? Like, where should we take ours?
I think your shallowest help, like being satisfied even by like the little things you get from this person.
No, I love that. Yeah, like your shallowest help, like the littlest you could do or that you do helps me, yeah, stay afloat. Like, stops me from drowning, like
Even the smallest you do
even the smallest,
gesture that this person does, or the smallest things they say,
even
and
your
smallest
smallest.
gesture keeps me afloat.
And that would be 11, right? Okay, so let's take a quick look at line 10 from the original stanza 3 with 10 syllables. It reads, "Whilst he upon your soundless deep doth ride." And this will set our F rhyme. What stands out to you in line 10 there?
This suitor being satisfied by how much ground he's covering and like how fast he can get across the ocean, or like how far he can go.
Yeah, so it's kind of harkening back to this other person. So keeps me afloat, whereas...
Yeah. I think the word conquer has a
Right.
really like intense feeling to it, conquering.
Yeah.
Whereas he conquers.
Yeah, so whereas your suitor hopes to conquer... Oh, that's 9.
Maybe we could throw in a diss. Whereas your plain suitor.
Ooh, I love it. Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. Those descriptive words. Yeah. So whereas your plain suitor hopes to conquer.
Yeah.
Love it. And that sets us up for like our next line potentially. So
Yeah.
let's take a quick look at line 11 from the original with 10 syllables. It reads, "Or being wrecked, I am a worthless boat." So what stands out to you in this one? I mean, for myself, the doubt that you keep talking about, like, yeah, it's kind of hearkening back to that for me, but what about you?
Physical appearance, like maybe there's so much doubt because compared to this suitor, he may not be as like attractive, like maybe just a little dingy compared to a ship. Yeah.
Oh, and we're back to our E rhyme. So we got to rhyme with afloat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whereas your plain suitor hopes to conquer with like, grandiose, like, I feel like it's kind of like,
That's a good word.
hopes to conquer with, their...
Dote. Is that a word? Like doting wife. That's what I think.
Yeah, doting on someone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where grandiose sails are unable to dote. I feel like that may be.
They're too prideful to
yeah.
like dote. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. So with grandiose sails, too prideful to dote.
That's 10.
Yeah.
Great. I'm happy with that. I love
Awesome.
that.
So yeah, let's take a quick read of line 12 again from the original stanza 3 with 10 syllables. It reads, "He of tall building and of goodly pride." So I guess for this one, we're back to our F rhyme. So we're going to rhyme with conquer. And we're kind of bringing it back to ourselves, do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah?
I, in contrast,
Oh, yeah.
feel inadequate, which is 4 whole syllables.
I, in contrast, feel heavy as an anchor. Like,
I, in contrast, must bear hold an anchor. Like, maybe the anchor is his doubts and like it's holding him back and like adding this
Right.
weight.
I'm good with it if you are.
I'm happy, yeah.
Let's take a quick read of our stanza 3 and just see if it sits right.
Even your smallest gesture keeps me afloat, whereas your plain suitor hopes to conquer with grandiose sails too prideful to dote. I, in contrast, must bear hold and anchor.
So moving on to the rhyming couplet here at the end, lines 13 and 14. Yeah, we made them green. Do you remember why?
This couplet feels separate from the ocean to me. I know it says like cast away, but I think of like thriving and decaying with plants and like flora in that way.
Line 13, we'll dive right into it. So yeah, line 13 from the original with 10 syllables, it reads.
Then if he thrive and I be cast away.
So what stands out to you in this one? Where should we take our line 13?
The potential of him being able to like win this person could be interesting to play with.
So this will set our G rhyme. And yeah, talking about this idea of success, like if this other person or thing succeeds.
Sorry.
No, absolutely.
We could bring back what we said in line 7 with the horizon. Like if he were to reach the horizon like before me.
If they reach you before I...
If they touch the horizon as I sink.
Okay.
And then...
Yeah, and then we can finish it off. Yeah, are we good with that?
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome. Let's run with it. And let's take a quick second to read line 14 from the original with 10 syllables. It reads,
The worst was this. My love was my decay.
Oof. It's like a heavy, it's so heavy, which fits with our anchor. And we're on our G rhyme again, so we're going to rhyme with sink.
Yeah.
But what rhymes with sink, I guess?
Think, brink, link, tink.
Tink. I like brink.
Yeah.
Like, I have another idea potentially. So
Please.
like ink also rhymes.
Yeah.
And I remember we started with talking
writing.
about faint writing and like, we could be like, the last of my ink. Like,
Yeah. With the last of my ink is a beautiful way to end it because that's how we started too.
right.
I will love you with the last of my ink. I will cherish. I will admire.
I'm going to throw this out
Yeah,
here. It
please.
kind of changes the start of the
That's
line,
okay.
but he'll still be with the ocean. Like,
Yeah.
he'll still be with this person. So, like,
Right.
if they touch the horizon as I sink, let not be lost this, the last of my ink. Or, like,
Let not be
be lost.
I like
is
that.
The last of my ink. That's
I
10.
like that. Yeah.
Let not be lost this, the last of my ink. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
kind of like,
That's beautiful.
Does that sit okay?
I
with you?
love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Let's hear that all together.
I'm weak in the knees for you as I write, with hope in my heart and fear for your suitor, who speaks softly though still willing to fight, where I, overwhelmed, need you, my future. You are vast and beauteous before me, the strong and the frail sailing the same tide, in tow of your love. The horizon I see, and upon your crest I willfully ride. Even your smallest gesture keeps me afloat, whereas your plain suitor hopes to conquer with grandiose sails too prideful to dote. I, in contrast, must bear hold and anchor. If they touch the horizon as I sink, let not be lost this, the last of my ink. Stay tuned for the next episode where we look at yet another sonnet with our next guest.
One, two, 3, 4.